Hi guys, it's me once again. In this video, I'm going to be talking about forearms. Forearm muscles for me is one of the most neglected muscle in the upper body. I'm going to be showing you what I do to help bring on my forearm muscle to look wide, thick, and full. Like I said, forearm muscle is one of the most neglected muscle in the upper body. A lot of guys spend a lot of time working their biceps and triceps and neglect working their forearms. For me, as a bodybuilder, being in this industry for more than 25 years, what I've seen, most guys that compete and guys that just work out and look good in the gym, and I look at their arms, their lower arm is lacking. And when your body looks this way, what's going to happen is you're not going to be balanced. You're going to be imbalanced. Muscles are going to be out of place. You got to remember, our body, when we're building muscle, it's like building a structure. You have to make sure every single structure is built the way it's supposed to, so that your body can look good when you put on clothes, when you take off your clothes at the beach, or wherever you'll be. Summertime right now, so looking good all the time, balancing every single muscle so you have that balanced symmetry that you need to look good the way you want to. So the first exercise I'm going to show you is an old exercise. This exercise has been around for a long time. It's called wrist curls. It's called bench wrist curls. Most people do it a different way. I like to do it the old school way because this way really helps me isolate my forearm on the inside. And I'll also show you another exercise to do for your forearm on the outside. So what I do, get a bench, sit on the bench, grab the bar right there, almost about, let's say, a couple of inches apart. So I make sure my wrist is hanging off the bench. And what I do is I squeeze my knees together, to keep my elbows from flying out. So when I squeeze my knees together, it keeps my elbows in, so that way it keeps my arms from going back and forth. So squeeze the knees in. All you have to do now, grip in the bar, make sure you come up, squeeze at the top, come down really slow, right about there, come up and squeeze at the top. Make sure you do a little stop and squeeze at the top, really slow, up and squeeze. Right there, make sure you squeeze at the top, control the tempo. Don't go too fast. Make sure you're feeling your forearm muscle when you squeeze at the top. Feel that squeeze, feel the muscle contract, and you release really slow. Come up and squeeze back and forth. So make sure you don't release your grip. I see some guys will release their grip, and this becomes a grip exercise instead of a forearm exercise. Keep your fingers wrapped around the bar and keep it there. Okay? So that's one exercise variation for your forearm. Another variation I do for my forearm on the inside, I sit at the edge of the bench and then I grab the bar from the inside of my leg. I grab the bar a little outside my shoulder width, come straight up, and I curve my wrist backwards. So I'm not allowing my arm to swing backward. I make sure I squeeze my forearm to my quads, or sometimes I push my quads out to keep it from moving, and I just squeeze right there, squeeze at the top, come down slow, squeeze at the top, come down slow, squeeze at the top, come down slow. What I always talk about variations is very important because you got to think about your muscles coming from different directions. Muscles are coming from north, south, east, west. They're also coming diagonally. So the more you change the angle of your exercise, of the muscles you're working, the more you're working your way around the muscles. So you can have that 3D, full muscle look that you're looking for. The third exercise I'm going to show you is what I call reverse bench curl. The same way we did a regular bench curl, you're going to grip the bar, what I call in a pronated position. Your wrist, your forearm facing down, and you just come up, squeeze at the top, come down really slow, squeeze at the top, come down really slow, squeeze at the top. This is a much more intense and difficult position to be in. And make sure you don't choose too much of a heavier weight. You squeeze at the top and come down. So what this was going to do is going to work your forearm muscle on the outside. The previous two exercises that I did is working my forearm from the inside. Now this was working my forearm from the outside. So this is a very good exercise, because that way when you work on the inside, remember I was talking about balance earlier, make sure you work both sides of your forearms. Another exercise that I'm going to show you is what I call a reverse curl. A reverse curl, mostly you're going to hit the outside of your biceps, and most especially because of the angle of your wrist, you are going to hit the outside of your forearm as well. So what I do, I pick the weight up and stand up, just like I'm going to do a bicep curl, but now I'm going to pull straight up, elbows angled to the side of my body. Now, what I don't want to see is this. I don't want to see something like that. See how my elbows are moving away from the side of my body? You want to make sure your elbow stays close to your body, and when you come up, you want to come up right about there. And when you come down, you want to come down right about there. In this position and angle and tempo, I'm only doing about maybe 3 reps. I can feel my forearm muscles firing 100%. Right about there. Really slow, and come up, squeeze at the top, and come down really slow. So that will get your forearm working on the outside. Now remember, when you're doing that exercise, I've seen most people make the mistake of pulling their elbows away from their body. When you do that, your shoulders are going to activate. But once you keep your elbows into the side of your body, shoulder goes away from being activated, you're basically isolating the outside of your forearm more. One more exercise that I'm going to show you. The last exercise is dumbbell hammer curls. You know, I'm sure you guys have seen hammer curls done. The mistake I see once again is a lot of mistake here in this exercise. Guys just swinging their body this way and allowing the weight to free fall back and forth. Whenever you allow the weight you're using to free fall, the muscles are not going to activate 100% because you're adding motion. So what you want to do, once again, keep your elbows on the side of your body. Allow the dumbbell to drop down really slow. Don't lock it out. Come up, squeeze, get your mind and muscle connection going. You know, think about the muscles you're training, and make sure you allow that muscle to stay active throughout. Down slow, breathe in, and come up right about there. Breathe out. Now, those are the exercises that I do for my forearm. Like I said, please, and once again I say, do not neglect any muscle. I hear some guys say, well, I don't like working my forearms, or I don't like working my calves, I don't like working my hamstrings. Make sure you work every single muscle identical to the other one, so that way your muscle will flow. You got to flow with your muscle, your biceps look good, shoulders look good, chest, arms, back, everything flows together. So these are my tools that I use to bring my forearm up. And like I always say in my previous videos, I'm sure you guys are watching these videos, you're liking these videos. Please click the thumbs up button below and leave your comment below. And if you want a full program of all these exercises that I'm doing, please go to MiamiMuscleUSA.com. You get all the full details, training program, training routine, combination of exercises, nutrition, and you're going to be able to basically design your own program the way you want to, according to all these exercises. Once again, Moji Oluwa, MiamiMuscleUSA.com.